All right, next up, we have the special briefing extended continuity of learning plan. Dr. Swift.
Thank you, President Johnson and trustees. Trustees, you've been very familiar with all of the plans that we've been bringing to you for many months now. The primary plan that we've been working from is the Reimagine Learning Plan, which is on our website, 250 some pages. Inside of that plan is also the COVID response plan that Mr. Combsa and Ms. Langford helped us with over the summer. You recall that the prior time you approved this plan was back in August, and it was submitted to the ISD and to the state and approved. We are still operating under that plan. Yet you recall, trustees, that the last legislative package that was passed that addressed our COVID schooling held a few more requirements. And you'll recall that during September, late August, early September, we reviewed a little bit about what would be expected. Well, Ms. Linden and her team have been busy since that legislative package was passed, and they're bringing forward this evening the, it has an E in front of it, the extended continuity of learning plan. So Ms. Linden is going to highlight, we are understanding the lateness of the hour. She will highlight, trustees, you have the full document on board docs, so you can peruse that at your leisure. Good bedtime reading material when you want. But Ms. Linden, take us through the high points so that the trustees are well informed of where we are with our extended continuity of learning plan.
Certainly. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here with you all. And I will begin just by sharing my screen and hopping right in. And so we'll begin with, as Dr. Swift shared, just a few highlights of this extension. We, as Dr. Swift shared, have reviewed and shared many times pieces and in whole the Reimagine Learning Plan, 250 plus pages of the plan. So this extension just represents a few additional requirements that we have to meet based on Public Act 149, Section 98A. And so there are just three parts of this. There are actually 9 assurances in the legislative requirements. And most of these are already met in that Reimagine Learning Plan, that 250 plus page document. But there are just a few pieces that will highlight that are additions to that. So let's go ahead and begin. The first piece is about some educational growth goals that are required around English language arts and mathematics. And so the requirement says that we must select and administer a state-approved assessment. We must administer that to all students in kindergarten through 8th grade within the first 9 weeks of school. And then we must administer that assessment again before the end of school. And we must establish some goals for academic growth. And so these are 2 of the goals that we established for all students and student subgroups who are in grades kindergarten through 8th grade. And the goal states in both ELA and math goals 1 and 2 that we will improve our academic performance as measured by the NWEA Measures of Academic Progress Assessment. Trustees, you are familiar with the NWEA. We've delivered this assessment in our district since 2011. And it is a state-approved assessment. One of the requirements, well, a couple of the requirements of this assessment is that it is nationally normed and that it is adaptive. And so this assessment meets both of those criteria. Because it's a familiar tool for us, we'll be using this tool to meet that legislative requirement. Another requirement is that in any phase of the learning plan that the students are exposed to and have the rigor of the same scope and sequence or educational plan to address academic state standards. And in our thinking early on in the planning for fall, we established some really clear measures around this, and they meet state legislative requirements. So this is simply a review of what's already in the Reimagine plan that we established a block schedule, that the district has moved to a semester model so that teachers and students can proceed in the same scope and sequence, that the teachers are working together to remain tight in that scope and sequence, that same scope and sequence of curriculum will be delivered whether we are virtual or whether we are face-to-face or hybrid. And to support that work year-round and to keep teachers supported, building their collective efficacy and creating co-created really effective lessons we've established and continued to work in teaching and learning networks, as we've shared before. The last piece that I'll highlight for you tonight is this equitable access to technology and internet assurance. This is just a reiteration tonight for the public. You've heard this many times. We did device distribution and will continue to distribute devices as needed in this district. And just to recap, students in grades preschool and first receive iPads. Students in grades 2 through 12 receive Chromebooks. The Family Technology Helpline remains in effect, 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. On Friday, that call or hotline ends at 5 p.m. That's just based on traffic, that reduction on Friday. And we have also, as Dr. Swift already mentioned in her update, have wireless hotspots. They remain available for families as needed and for staff. And our tech team is in the process of helping many families to sign up for and receive low-cost internet based on income. And so those are just highlights of the assurances. The rest of the 9 that are in the written plan, Dr. Swift has already referenced, are already addressed in the Reimagine Learning Plan, and they're readdressed in this extended plan.
Thank you very much, Ms. London.